story of how Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn led me to nearly being incarcerated when I was 15 years old. So one day, my best friend Amelia and I were watching a little movie called Wedding Crashers. And to quickly summarize up that movie, it's essentially about these two average-looking white guys that go wedding crashing every weekend in the pursuit of fun and finding women to sleep with. In the movie, it always goes really great and they never get caught. And that's where my story begins to differ. So once Amelia and I decided that we were going to go wedding crashing, we knew that we had to prepare. So we went online and consulted only the most trusted of resources, the first, of course, being YouTube. And we also paid a visit to one of the more esteemed sites on the web, Yahoo Answers. And we learned that there was 3 major things that we needed to remember to go wedding crashing. We needed to dress for the occasion, we needed to bring a card to blend in, and most importantly, we needed to have our story straight for if we did get caught, what was our connection to the couple. The next step was also finding a way to get there because at this point, neither of us were even old enough to have a license. So I consulted one of my older sisters, Christy, and I told her our plan, and not only did she agree to drive us, she thought the plan was awesome and encouraged it. So we just chose a Saturday and a random venue that we figured would have a wedding going on during prime wedding season. And we get dropped off. We enter the lobby. Journey's Don't Stop Believing is playing, and we're feeling really good about the night that we're about to have. There's a photo booth in the lobby, so we head over to that. We take a bunch of photos in it, and next to the photo booth is a guest book. And given the smooth criminals that we were, we decided to sign our congratulations with our real names in the guest book, and then take those photos of our faces and put them right next to our real names. Yahoo Answers did not cover that part. Then we ventured into the reception and tried to hit the dance floor, and that lasted about 15 seconds, considering we were the only people in there looking very prepubescent. And we forgot the golden rule of wedding crashing. We did not have our story straight. So once confronted and asked who we were, we panicked, and Amelia decided to blurt out that we were co-workers of the bride. Now, unless the bride also happened to be babysitting for the house down the street, there was absolutely no way that this grown woman was one of our co-workers. So that story didn't land. They told us to leave, and we did immediately. But we still left feeling good. We thought we had fun, and there was no harm done. And we were really wrong. Because what Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn don't tell you is that sometimes when you crash a wedding, the groom of said wedding might happen to be a lawyer, a really unamused and pissed off lawyer. So I spent the next day, my first day of summer vacation, my sister informs me that the police are looking for me. And I've been accused of stealing money from the gift box at the wedding. So I spent my first day of summer vacation quite literally being brought downtown and spend it in an interrogation room at the police station. At this point, I decided to leave my sister Christy, who encouraged this idea, at home, and bring my other older sister, Jenna. Jenna majored in legal studies in college. She's also clocked in about 10,000 hours of Dateline in her time. So she was actually really excited to bring me downtown, as this was the role of a lifetime for her. So as I sat in the cold metal chair of this interrogation room, shaking, crying, and mapping out in my head exactly how this was going to ruin the entire trajectory of my life, Jenna was in her glory, arguing with the cop and telling him that he can roll the damn tapes because they're not going to find anything. And she was right, but she also asked a very important question of how would they even know if money was missing if it were to be missing. So apparently, this lovely couple decided to call up their wedding guests and ask how much money they gave. And now, I'm not sure about you, but if I go to a wedding and the couple calls me up and asks how much money I gave, probably gonna round that number up a little bit. So in the end, they had no evidence because we hadn't stolen and we didn't do anything wrong, but we did need to write an apology letter, so we did that. But now that I'm an adult and I have a little bit more of a backbone than I did when I was 15, I would like to add something to that apology letter. To the bride and groom, I am sincerely sorry that the people that you invited to your wedding were so cheap that the only plausible explanation to you for the sad amount of money in your gift box was that two 15-year-olds stole it. And I did not walk away from this without learning a very valuable lesson that every young woman eventually learns in her life. Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn taught me that if you want to succeed in any situation, you must approach it with the same confidence as an average-looking white man. Thank you.